Let's go over how to import and export calendars in Onerez. To get to the Import-Export section, go to Settings, then click Calendar Import-Export. Here you'll see you can import and export iCal links. To import an iCal link, you'll click on the Import Calendar button. Here you'll be prompted to enter the URL of the iCal link that you've obtained from your channel. Let's go over how to obtain the iCal link from Vrbo. We'll head over to our Vrbo dashboard. Next, you'll click Calendars, then click Reservations. Here you'll see an Import-Export button. If you click this, you'll see an Export Calendar button. When you click that, Vrbo will provide you with a URL link that you can put into Onerez. You do not need to check this box. Simply copy the URL, then head back to Onerez, and paste the URL into the URL box. Below you'll be asked which property this applies to. This one applies to poppies. The listing site will automatically be put in for you from a Vrbo iCal link, but other iCal links may not, and you can select them from the drop-down list. We also see it has automatically been given a name. You can always click in and edit this however you like. Below you'll be asked what you want to import. You can import all events or bookings only. For Vrbo, you only want to import the bookings, so we'll select this. You can also check to include past events. Then you'll be asked if you want to import bookings as bookings or blocked off time. We want to import this as bookings. You can also set the max days into the future that you'd want to import bookings for. Below this is the booking status. You can apply damage protection to any bookings that are imported, and you can choose to auto-cancel in a specific amount of days if you'd like. We're going to leave this as do not auto-cancel. Next, you can check whether or not you want notifications to be sent to you, third parties, send created triggers, and you can skip notifications on the first import. This one in particular is useful so you don't get a flood of emails on your first time importing an iCal link. Below that are exclusions. You can set a start and end date that will be excluded from the import. You can also choose to exclude items that have a specific text. Lastly, you can choose to leave this as active, and you can give it a processing order. When you've configured your iCal import correctly, click Save. Now we see the iCal link has been saved, and you can always click the Change button to go in and adjust these settings if need be. You also have the option of syncing now and deleting imported items. If we go back to Imports, we can now export the Onerez iCal link to Vrbo. Onerez provides iCal links for every property that you have. You'll go ahead and copy the link for that property, head back to Vrbo, click out of this, then click Import Export and select Import Calendar. We'll go ahead and paste the link we copied from Onerez, and we'll give this a name like Onerez. You can also select a specific color if you'd like. We'll leave this alone. Next, you'll be asked what you want Vrbo to do with the events imported from this calendar. You'll want to leave block dates. Then select Import Calendar. Now we see the calendar was successfully imported, and our Vrbo calendar now shows the book dates that we have in our Onerez calendar. Now we'll head back to Onerez, then click Import. If we want to import another iCal link for that same property, say from Airbnb, we'll click Import Calendar, then head over to our Airbnb account, then in our Airbnb dashboard, click Calendar, then click Poppy's Hideaway, then you'll select Availability Settings, and when you scroll down, you'll see Sync Calendars, Import Calendar, Export Calendar. We'll go ahead and export the calendar by copying this link. We'll head back to Onerez, then paste that in the URL box. We'll select that same property, Poppy's Hideaway. We'll go ahead and leave the listing site as Airbnb and the name as Airbnb iCal. We see that Airbnb has already checked off bookings only. We'll include past events. We'll import the bookings as bookings. And we'll leave everything else as default. Then click Save. Then we'll go back to Imports, go to the export, then copy that same export link as we did before and head back to Airbnb, then click Import Calendar, then we'll paste the URL in this first box. We'll go ahead and name it Onerez. Then click Import Calendar. Now we see the Onerez export calendar has been added to Airbnb. And if we head back to Onerez, then click Import, we'll see we now have two iCal links both going to the same property. The import links and the Onerez export links that we added to the channels will automatically update every 30 minutes to block each other off. So if you get a booking in Vrbo, the import calendar will automatically sync that into Onerez, then Onerez will automatically block the Airbnb calendar for that booking. The same goes if you were to create a booking in Onerez. The Vrbo and Airbnb calendars would automatically be blocked off because of the Onerez iCal export link that we imported to both channels. If you imported a calendar that you'd like to disable now, you can simply click the checkbox, then click Disable. And if you'd like to re-enable it, you can click the Filter button, then change Enabled to Disabled, then click Search. And here if we scroll over, we see all of these are disabled. If we would like to re-enable it, we'll find the one we want, click the checkbox, then click Enable. Now if we go back to Show Default, we'll see that we have the Vrbo and Airbnb iCal just like we had set up earlier. You also have the option of doing a one-time import. If you click here, you'll be asked to upload the iCal file or download from the URL. Then you'd select the property, you'd select the listing site, then check Create Bookings if possible. You could also apply damage protection if possible, and you can check Include Past Bookings. Doing this will not add the iCal as a recurring calendar sync. This is a one-time import. It's also important to note, if you have the API connected for Airbnb and Vrbo, you can remove the Airbnb iCals, but we recommend keeping them for Vrbo. This is because if there's an old school platform booking that gets canceled, the API will not handle that. You'll still need the iCal links. Also, there's a bug with the Vrbo mobile app that when making a quote, it can cause an old school platform booking to occur, and that does not go through the API. If you'd like to learn more about how syncing works with calendars, you can go to our support docs and go to the Calendar Import Export overview. That is how you import and export an iCal link in Onerez.